Dine. Kurt Olson was steaming, but he dare not show it. He was angry because his boss, Leo Kelly, had selected a much too expensive restaurant for them to hold a lunch meeting. He was angry because this lunch would probably swallow the cushion on his only viable MasterCard. He wanted to make a support payment with that card. The DA's office had threatened prosecution if he was late once more. And Kurt Olson was angry that Leo Kelly had selected the Emperor's Pub, not just because it was shamelessly pricey, but because it was part of the most obnoxious trend in culination: neural behavioral dining. Leo sat across from him in their enclosed booth, slowly but deliberately eating a salad. Leo's seat was several inches higher than Kurt Olson's seat, and the mirrors that lined the interior of the booth were arranged in such a way as to enhance the geometry of dominance. Kurt Olson had asked the waiter for silverware, but none was forthcoming. Then he remembered that the waiter would only respond to Leo's request. Neural behavioral dining. Kurt Olson's anger would peak with his silent objection at the ostentatious, even silly gestures of power, but his rage would pass quickly as it gave way to a jumpy submission. This isn't like hypnosis. The subject will feel subordinate even if he resists, the founder of the Emperor's Pub had stated in a trade publication. Kurt Olson's awareness of the magician's technique did nothing to resist the spell. He stared with longing eyes as Leo Kelly finished his own salad and then staked his fork in the salad in front of Kurt and removed a conspicuously symbolic mouthful. Leo Kelly would probably have finished the second salad had it not been interrupted by the appetizer, the Emperor's spread. Kurt Olson observed that Leo Kelly seemed to enjoy the lobster-stuffed mushrooms and the bacon-wrapped scallops and the tempura that and the tempura this that had been placed so directly in front of him. And Leo Kelly calmly asked Kurt Olson questions about the progress of the operation, careful to gesture with a dinner roll slathered in creamy Maryland butter. Kurt Olson could not help but notice the contrast in appearance. Leo, the consummate G-man in his dark suit and form-fitting white dress shirt, distinguished gray hair and 9% body fat, clashed with his sartorial counterpart. Even before the last 30-pound inflation that made Kurt Olson's shirts bite his neck and tug at his shoulders, Kurt had cultivated the Kmart detective look. Now, with the sleeves riding up his arms and the jacket impossible to button, Kurt Olson worried that Leo Kelly would order him to buy new clothing. That would be the dollar that would break his financial back. Finally, Leo Kelly asked Kurt Olson about the cooperation of the Dragon Master, and Kurt answered as he had planned. Sir, the subject is not cooperating. I recommend prosecution. Leo Kelly's face turned pink and his tone turned nasty. He stopped eating and narrowed his eyes. What? And Kurt Olson tried to sit tall and tried to restate his position. Yes, sir, I said. I heard what you said, Leo Kelly bellowed. He took a long swallow of his Diet Coke, never breaking eye contact, and Kurt Olson wished that he had something to drink. After a long silence, Leo spoke in a deliberate tone. Look, if anyone gets prosecuted, it will be you. You were the one who got caught stealing cash that should have been turned in as evidence. You are the one who has been granted a second chance. You and your supposed computer fluency. Kurt Olson felt himself slink into his seat and felt his shoulders droop. Leo Kelly continued. This young man, whom you have the pleasure of coaching, has infinitely more computing expertise than you will ever dream of. He could be an asset to the program for years to come. It is your job to persuade him to dedicate himself to the program. Do you understand? He pointed with a fork holding a sautéed shrimp to emphasize his point. Yes, sir, Kurt Olson replied dejectedly. He was relieved when Leo Kelly softened his tone. He even smiled. Use your powers of persuasion, Olson. You catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. The entrees had arrived. 2 medium rare filet mignons with emperor potatoes and veggie medleys. Leo Kelly transferred the second medley to Kurt Olson's plate and then requested silverware for his underling. Kurt enjoyed his veggies, but he so wanted to sample one of Leo's fillets. Just a taste would have brought some satisfaction. Leo Kelly seemed to enjoy his lunch, and as a consolation, he grew more amicable with each calculated bite. But as Kurt Olson watched his boss enjoy Emperor's chocolate, Leo was stern once more. Olson, if we raid your house and find narcotics, you will go away for a long, long time. Sir, I don't have any narcotics. Leo Kelly stared deeply as he savored the mousse and whipped cream. Olson, we wouldn't raid your house unless we knew that you held narcotics. Kurt Olson felt the blood leave his head. His palms were moist and he felt a chill. When the check arrived, Leo Kelly grabbed it and wrote in an extravagant tip that sent the MasterCard dangerously close to its credit limit. He then handed it to Kurt so that he could complete the transaction. As Leo deliberately concluded their endeavor with tiny, deliberate bites of each dinner mint, his tone was once again friendly, perhaps a bit paternal. Remember your persuasion skills, Olson. Your persuasion skills. Kurt Olson offered up a meek, "Yes, sir," that was drowned out by his growling stomach. Leo Kelly smiled once more.